Hello, good afternoon. This is Diecast Luna. Hope you're all doing well. And today's video is going to be basically, I was going to do a bit of a showcase on Porsches, basically. As I was fiddling around with some of my car collection and didn't realise, I had to basically move some cars about and unpack some stuff. And I didn't realise just how many Porsches I actually had. I knew I had a few, so I thought, well, why not make it into a challenge video? So we're just going to call it the Porsche Challenge, and basically it is what it says on the side of the tin. It is just basically show your Porsche collection, whether it be large excuse me, large or small. Like I said, I didn't realise how many I had. My main collecting interest has always been American cars. It's what I tend to know the most about. But outside of American cars, I've always been quite a big Porsche fan and a big Volkswagen fan. But with that being said, let's just get straight into it. So there is no rules to it. It is just a case of, if you want to do the challenge, just show your Porsches, whether it be 5, 10, 15, 20, the sky's the limit. I'm not even fussed if you've only got a couple, you know. So that is going to be today's challenge. So anyway, let's get into it. And as you can see, I have got one here that is boxed, and this is from the Matchbox collectors. And as usual, I've always got the camera too far down, so there you go. So Matchbox collections or collectors, and it is the Porsche 550 Spyder, and this is one of my favourite Porsches. Just one of my favourite Porsches, full stop. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be many places that actually sells the 550. I know there's one or two reasonably good companies that make a large scale version of this, as in I think you can actually get James Dean's 550 Spyder. I just can't remember the name of the company that produces it, but there doesn't seem to be very many companies that do the 550 Spyder in sort of 1/64 scale. So obviously this for me was a no-brainer to pick it up when I seen it, and I wanted it in this colour because I'm not so keen on the blue colour that they released. But I just wished that you could get a decent premium version of the 550 Spyder. You can get 356s and stuff, but anyway, let's get this open, take a closer look. So there you go, out of the box. So obviously, as you know, you get this with the collectors. You do get the cool little box, and excuse me, got a dry throat as usual. And then here's the main event, and it is pretty cool. Now I know Matchbox do this in several versions. I think there's the opening part version, which is, I think it's got the normal wheels, and then you've got the other. There's a couple of versions anyway, but I've never really been interested, if I'm completely honest, because I just didn't really like the colours. But when I seen this one, I thought I'll have it because this is very similar to the 550 Spyder that James Dean drove and unfortunately died in, which I think he called, excuse my language, Little Bastard was the name of his Porsche. And this is very similar. It's got the same sort of stripes, but this is not too bad. The only complaint I've got on this car is the fact the arches are massive, but other than that, it is a good looking little piece. The front end's nice, as you can see, it's all tempoed in quite nicely, and obviously they've done the engine quite well, so as you can see, it's all painted up quite nicely in there. And if I remember rightly, James Dean's car was a 4-cam motor. I think was a 4-cam motor. I know a lot of the early Porsches were push-rod engines, but pretty cool. So this is a 1955 Porsche 550 Spyder, and if I remember rightly, these weren't called 550s because they were made in 1950. They were actually, the 550 was the actual chassis number. But yeah, so anyway, so that is a cool piece to have, and like I said, I would like to get a nice premium version at some point. So that will be my first car. So now I've got quite a few cars to get through, so I'm not going to hang about because obviously, like I said, I didn't realise how many I had. So we'll get straight into it, and I've got one here from Majorette, which is the Porsche 964, which is a pretty cool little piece. So, and this is their, as far as I'm aware of, this is their not the deluxe range. I can't remember what this is now, but this was from a gift pack, as they call it. So it isn't their basic range, but quite nicely done. All painted in details, usual Majorette suspension. And at one point in the future, I may do a wheel swap on one of these just to see if I can make it look a bit more authentic, but still pretty cool piece nonetheless. So let's just make a little bit of room on this side. There we go. And then we're going to go straight into a classic Matchbox Superfast. I believe it's a Superfast, but it is the Porsche. Let's have a little look. It is a 19. No, it's not. It's a lie. It is. There you go. Porsche 910. And it is a Superfast. But pretty cool. And it is in remarkably good condition for something that is from about 1970. So very, very cool, as you can see. So that's piece number 3, and then we go back to then we got a Hot Wheels Porsche Panamera Turbo S, which is, if I'm truthfully honest, is not my favourite type of Porsches. I'm not really into these, but it's still very nicely done with all tampoed details back and front. I think it's Mini GT make a nice version of this, which unfortunately I don't have, but anyway. And then back to Matchbox, and we've got this little 914, which is pretty cool. I've actually got 2 different versions of this, I believe, but they were too far packed away for me to go digging them out. I've got a grey one, I think, and a black one. I can't remember now, but I know I've definitely got a grey one of these, which looks a bit better than this because the red's a bit leery. But it is, so look, it's actually a VW Porsche 914 because these were a Volkswagen and Porsche collaboration, if I remember rightly. The real ones don't actually have a Porsche badge on the front. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. And then we'll briefly show the one I did the other day, that Outlaw 356. I did the little paint and detail wheel swap. So that is pretty cool. The wheels definitely do look meaty on this. Just trying to see obviously the chrome details from there. They hardly stick out because of the chrome on top of the silver, but it is a pretty cool piece. And then we got another Hot Wheels. It is a, let's have a little look. Number 2. Not quite sure what Porsche this is, if I'm totally honest. But it is a Hot Wheels Porsche, which is pretty cool. So, and that is one in the future that I will definitely be doing something with. But like I said, I'm not really into the newer Porsches. I get bored after about 1994. After that, when they started becoming liquid cooled, I'm more of into the air cooled Porsches. That's what I know more about. I don't know much about the newer Porsches. Another one here from Hot Wheels, which is pretty cool. So we've got the 277 on the door Porsche. I believe this is a 934, I think. Maybe 935, sorry. But pretty cool. Not bad, too badly done. Got a mark there. It's pretty cool. Urban Outlaw. And then we got this Porsche Gt3, which is pretty cool, with tampoed front. And again, this is from Hot Wheels, and you've got the badge and no rear details, unfortunately, but it is pretty cool. So it is, yeah, Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I think I got that in a 5-pack, if I remember rightly. Then I'm going to take another look at another vintage one from Matchbox, and it is a Porsche 944, which is in pretty cool condition. I found this in a second-hand shop for 50p last year, which I thought it's in brilliant condition for that. So there you go. It is a 1980s from copyright 1987, but yeah, it's Porsche 944 turbo, and usual Matchbox suspension of old, and obviously opening doors. And then we got another one that I did a wheel swap and detail on, which is another 914. I think this is an off-road. It's supposed to be like an off-road, sort of like a Paris-Dakar type thing. I think it's like an off-road racer, but obviously I gave it all painted details and did the fire extinguishers in gold and the jerry cans. And let's have a little look what it is. It should say, yeah, just 914 Safari, but very cool. And then we got another one from Matchbox, which is this another Porsche Panamera, but again done very nicely with all the tampo details in this bright yellow. And again, I have another one of these somewhere. And another Hot Wheels. I think this is a Porsche 918. I'm trying to think what set this came from. It escapes me, but pretty cool car nonetheless. Tampoed in front in this sort of petrol green colour. Yeah, 918 Spyder. And I think these are the cars that the hybrids. I think these are the electric and petrol, I think. Like I said, my Porsche knowledge doesn't really go much past 94, really, if I'm truthfully honest. And then the next one's another mainline Hot Wheels, and this is one I picked up recently. It is a Porsche 935 race car, which is very cool. So you've got the roll cage there. You can see there's some sort of gauge there. This is going to be definitely something in the future that I'm going to be doing a repaint and detail of some sort, possibly in the future. So that is pretty cool too. And we're getting down now, and we got another. This is a Porsche Carrera from Hot Wheels, 96 Porsche Carrera, which is pretty cool in this green. And then we've got another I think this is 934, either 934 and 934, Porsche 934 RSR, RTR, I can't remember now. But I do like this colour. Not so keen on the tampos, but I do like the colour, I must admit, and I wouldn't mind possibly removing these tampos and putting a nice set of wheels on this and some painted details, and it'll look quite cool. Yeah, Porsche 934 Turbo RSR. And then, very briefly, as I've already shown these recently, so I'm not going to hang around too much on them, but there is this Singer Porsche Singer 911, or as they call it, reimagined by Singer, which is obviously very, very cool. You can see all the details because it is a resin model, so it is a beautifully detailed model. So that is that piece, and then the last piece is going to be this RWB, sorry, Porsche 964, which is by Tarmac, which again I've recently shown, so I'm not going to go too mad with it, but again, a very, very nice piece. Let's see if we can get this case off on this one, because this one isn't as clear as that case. But again, very, very cool. But anyway, that isn't all my Porsches. Like I said, I have got another 10 or 15 somewhere, but the video would have gone for way too long. So yeah, so have a go. Don't have a go. You know, I understand it's difficult sometimes. Some people, we sometimes struggle with challenges. We may only have one or two, but like I said, go mad. If you've got one or two, don't feel like you can't take part, show you one or two. If you've got loads, show them. There's no rules to this. The only rule is to show your Porsches. Or to that extent, you know, there's even some of the V-dubs, like there's some V-dub related Porsches that you can show as well, which is a bit like this. But anyway, with that, please like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for more unboxings, wheel swaps and restorations in the future to come. And with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. And as usual, quickly, I always leave one out that I wanted to show. The best of it was, this one was right in front of my face. And I forgot to show it, but this is one that I did a wheel swap on a few months ago. Painted the mirror, painted the exhausts, and gave it this chrome 5-spokes. So I just thought I'd show that. But anyway, with that, I'll see you all soon.